Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this week for What's on My Plate. So, our topic today, we'll be talking about traumatic grief, and we'll also be making chicken nachos. So, for our first activity, I just want to talk a little bit about traumatic grief before we actually get into what we'll be doing. So, losing someone you care about is like being hit in the chest with a gigantic block of ice that sticks to your chest. The ice block is so big you can barely focus on or see anything else going on. It feels so heavy on your chest, it makes it difficult to do ordinary things. You may feel like you're having trouble breathing or thinking clearly. You might even lose interest in doing things you usually enjoy doing. You might even lose interest in doing things you used to enjoy doing, like playing baseball or even dancing. But you won't feel like this forever. You need to learn to adjust your life to do things differently and in a new way because you have this gigantic ice block on your chest now. So you change some of your routines, and as time goes on, you learn how to do the special things in your life, like birthday parties and holidays, with this big block of ice on your chest. And with each day that passes, and with each new thing that you do, over time, the gigantic ice ball will slowly melt because each day, very slowly, one tiny drop melts off. As time goes by, without you even noticing it, the ice block gets smaller and lighter as it melts, to the point where you don't even notice it anymore, and it doesn't disrupt your life like it once did. You always remember the big block of ice, but it no longer weighs you down or interferes with your daily life. So, for our first activity today, we'll be making our memory boxes. So, a memory box is your little own personal box that you could store stuff like letters, notes, pictures, ticket stubs, all sort of things like that that remind you of someone or something, just good memories that can make you happy. So, in our kits, you will see that you got some stickers to help you decorate, some fancy, colorful paper, some letters and buttons and things to glue on your box to help decorate, and some glue. So, first off, we got to make the box. So, the box consists of two halves that we're going to construct one by one. So first you're going to take your fancy paper and choose two pieces that you want. So I want my box both sides to be the same. So I'm choosing two of the same sheets. So what you're gonna start by folding the paper in half like that. Okay? We're gonna fold it in half. We're going to make sure that after every fold that we crease the side because these creases are going to be our guidelines when we're actually folding the box. So now that the paper is folded in half like that, we're going to take it. So it's folded in half like this. Oops, sorry. We're going to take it and fold it in half this way. So it's like that. And again, crease the side because the crease is going to be our guideline. So we folded the paper in half this way and in half this way, right? So now we open it back up and we're going to take one corner and we're going to fold it to the middle. So I'm going to demonstrate and then show you guys. Just like that. And we're going to continue doing this to the other 3 corners. So I'll show you. So there's one more done. There's another one done. The last one. So now we should have something that looks like this. Now what we're going to do is take one side and we're going to fold this to the middle. So I'll demonstrate. Like so. So we took, one corner and folded it to the middle. Now we're going to take this half and fold it over to meet the other half in the middle as well. Like so. So we folded it in over like this. And again, make sure to crease, because those are going to be our guidelines when we make our box. So now what we're going to do is take both halves. So we're going to, take it, turn it horizontal like this. We're going to take both ends and fold them into the middle till they meet in the middle. So I'll demonstrate just like that. So we took it and folded it to have them meet in the middle. Again, we're going to crease like so. So now that we have it creased, we're going to open this back up. So like this, and what we're going to do is lift up these triangle flaps, only the top and the bottom. Okay? Like that. So for our box now we're going to start forming the box. So I'm going to take these ends and have them sitting up like this. This is going to be harder than I thought doing it in the camera. So we're going to take the corners, try to do this as best as I can in the camera, and we're going to push in the sides here like this. So we have it like so. So what I did, it was flat, and I pushed in the corners. Then I'm going to bring it over the top. And then it's going to fit in again. So let me do it this way now. So you have it like this. We're going to push in the corners here. Fold it. Oops. And it should be part of our box just like that. Now with this end, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to push in our corners. So once we have our corners in, we're going to fold it over corners. Okay. So we have our corners folded. Fold the box over. Ta-da! That is 1/2 of our memory box. So we're going to repeat this process again with this paper. So again, we're going to fold our paper in half like this. And make sure you crease it. Then we're going to open it back up and then fold it the other way. Crease. Then we're going to open it back up and then fold in one corner like so. So like that. And then we're going to continue this to the other 3 corners. One. 2. 3. Now we're going to take one end and fold it over into the middle. Like so. Took our end, fold it over to the middle. We're going to repeat with this side, fold this over into the middle. Like so. And we're going to turn this in half and fold both ends to meet in the middle. Like so. Make sure it's nice and creased. So we have our guidelines. Then we're going to open it up like so. Flip it. Boom. We're going to open the top. Open the bottom. Start building the box. Okay. So I took the corners. Have it bent like that. Folding it over. That's one side. Like this. I'm folding them in. Sides in. Fold it over. And ta-da! We have the other end of our box. So now we got the 2 ends of our box. And all you gotta do is squish it a little bit. Oops. Boom. Now we got our memory box made. And we got stickers. And all these letters in glue as well that we can use to decorate our box. All right. So, while I give you guys a little bit of time to decorate your box, I am gonna be right back as I get ready to start the cooking portion of our workshop today. Again, we'll be making chicken nachos, so we'll be right back for that. Okay, I am back. So, for the cooking part of our workshop today, in your boxes, you'll find some olive oil, paprika, black pepper, chili powder, onion powder. Actually, not onion powder. This is garlic powder. Sour cream, shredded cheese, nachos, and two chicken breasts. So we're gonna start off by So we're gonna start off by preheating, getting our pan preheated. So you can have a skillet, a wok, whatever it is. For the chicken on the stove, we're gonna preheat it to meet have it. We're gonna get it preheated, have it on medium, started, ready to go. We're also gonna preheat our oven as well. Okay. So we're gonna start with making the seasoning for our chicken. So we're gonna take all our powdered ingredients and we're gonna add it to a bowl. So black pepper, so this is the black pepper bowl. This is paprika. Garlic powder and onion powder. It's both mixed together, sorry. And this is chili powder. If you don't like spicy, I wouldn't add too much of this. Now, grab a fork, mix this all together. Smells good. So this mixture is gonna act as a homemade taco seasoning. So just mix it to combine. It should look something like that. So now I'm gonna put on my gloves for this part. We're gonna be dicing, well, cutting our chicken breasts, or both our chicken breasts into cubes. So I've pre-washed my chicken in vinegar. You can use vinegar or lemon juice and some hot or warm water to wash your chicken. Some people don't, but I prefer to wash mine. So what we're gonna do is cut our breasts into cubes, into small cubes. Okay. And to show you what I mean by small cubes, this is my cube size. Oops. Small cubes. Got a separate bowl to put it in. So it helps when you have your chicken breast to cut it into strips, and then to cut those strips so you can get cubes. So that's one breast, and we're gonna repeat the process for the second breast. Okay. So now the chicken is all cut up into small cubes in a bowl. We're we're going to take our homemade taco seasoning and sprinkle it on top of our chicken, like so. So you see, and then we're going to mix it all together. We're going to make sure all the cubes are nice and seasoned. And yeah, make sure everybody has a nice, good amount of seasoning on it. Make sure you rub it in there so it gets in all the nooks and crevices of the cubes that you just cut. All seasoned up, it should look something like that. Yeah. Take off my gloves. Okay, so before we head over to the stove, we're gonna prep our nachos. After we've cooked our chicken, we're gonna be putting our nachos and the chicken with some cheese on top in the oven on boil for the cheese to melt and everything to get nice and gooey. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna prep our pan to go in the oven. So we're gonna take our pan. I lined mine with parchment paper. You can also use aluminum or parchment paper. Doesn't matter. So what I'm gonna do is take some nachos and just spread them out. Take some nachos, spread it out. Put a little layer. So now I am gonna pause for a second while I go set up over at the stove. So I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, so now I'm over at the stove. Get a better angle of that. Bam. So our our pan's nice and hot right now. So I'm gonna take our oil, adding a little bit of it to the pot. Then I'm gonna make sure it's nice, spread evenly around the pan. Turn my pan down a little bit. Then we're gonna take our seasoned chicken cubes and we're gonna add it into the pot. So now we're gonna fully cook our meat. Cook our meat. The visual indicators to know when it's fully cooked. The chicken should turn white, and the juices should run clear. Those are your visual indicators. You're gonna keep it moving in the pot so nothing stays to the bottom too long and start to burn. And yeah, you guys should love this smell right now. It smells amazing. And just be patient while you're cooking, you know? It's supposed to be calm and not supposed to be rushed. It will take a few minutes for the chicken to fully cook. So just bear with us and, enjoy the time. Enjoy the heat. It's kind of chilly outside. The stove, the kitchen should be nice and warm right now. Just think of it like you're at a beach, you're in the sun, it's hot, good food is coming from your resort, you know? It's the happy thoughts that count. What you can also do as well to help speed up the process a little bit is put a lid on top that'll actually trap in the heat and um, the heat will circulate around and that'll actually help it cook a little bit faster. But not much faster, so so just to give y'all a look at how it's looking right now, it's looking good. So using my visual indicators, the meat has started to turn white. The juices are starting to run clear. So what I'm gonna do is go get a fork to try it to see if it's ready. Fork, piece, taste. That's good to go. So we're gonna turn off the stove. And we're gonna remove it from the heat. Okay. So now it's time for us to start layering our tacos. So give me one moment. I'll grab everything and have it all together. Then we're gonna get started to layer our tacos, our nachos. Okay. So we have our nachos. So we have a good little base of nachos. So what I'm gonna do is sprinkle some cheese onto the base. Sprinkle a little bit more cheese. I like cheese, so you might see a lot of cheese on this. If you don't like cheese, don't sprinkle as much as me. Okay. So we got a good little bed, a nice little cushion. So go to the stove. Take some of our chicken we just made. Just sprinkle it on top. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. So I'm gonna add my cheese. Add my cheese. Then I'm gonna add more nachos. Why not just add the rest? I'm gonna add some more cheese. Now I'm gonna add the rest of my chicken on top. Sprinkle it over. Sprinkle it all over. Take more cheese and sprinkle it on top. I'm actually going to be right back. I'm going to grab some more cheese. Okay, I got my cheese. Sprinkle this on top. Nice. That should be ready for the oven. So now, our oven's on boil. So we don't need to leave it in too long. All we're doing is getting the cheese to melt. So once the cheese melted, we're going to take it out the oven. Okay. So I have the nachos in the oven. It shouldn't take more than a moment or two. But while they're getting good, nice, easy, and melted in the oven, I'm just gonna, just like last week, do my little spiel and try to have a little discussion about more about traumatic grief. Um, so traumatic grief is something that anyone that has experienced loss can go through. It it's the emotional suffering you feel when something or someone you love is taken away from you. Often, the pain of loss can feel overwhelming. You may experience all kinds of difficulties and unexpected emotions, from shock to anger to disbelief, guilt, and profound sadness. The pain of grief can also disrupt your physical health, making it difficult to sleep, eat, or even think straight. These are normal reactions to loss, and the more significant the loss, the more intense your grief may be. So it may be that after months, the responses being displayed by someone suddenly bereaved are normal grief responses. These common follow any kind of death. Feelings of sadness, feeling of desperation, pangs of grief, yearning for the person who died, and crying. This is all signs of grief. Um, Suddenly, the person can. I'm actually gonna check on our tacos, so nachos. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys over to our nachos. So a little half of it got a little too close to the broiler, but our cheese is nice and toasty. So our last step is we have our sour cream in this bag, right? So what we're gonna do, give me 1 moment. I'm gonna go fetch a pair of scissors. Y'all should do the same as well. Okay, so we have our sour cream in the bag here. We're gonna make sure it all goes to one side. We're gonna clip one corner, and we have our nachos. And you take the sour cream and then squeeze it on top. Squeeze it on top. And there, our chicken, our chicken nachos. Cheesy chicken nachos. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. So good. Mm. Now, back to our talk on traumatic grief. So yeah, so as I was saying, the person who's going through this can all of a sudden start seeking out places or start to do things that will remind them of the person who they've lost. So when an individual, so an individual may have a traumatic reaction after death that was sudden and unexpected, through violence or accident or death that was anticipated due to ill. So the reaction could come from even if you're expecting the death or not. So there are ways to help cope with the pain. Come to terms with your grief and eventually find a way to pick up the pieces and acknowledge your pain. So accept that grief can trigger many different and unexpected emotions. Understand that your grieving process will be unique to you. Seek out face-to-face support from people who care about you. And lastly, support yourself emotionally by taking care of yourself physically. So that could be working out, you eat right, making sure you feel good, self care. So that's all I got for today. I'll still be here for a few more minutes if anyone wants to comment and we could talk and drag this out some more. Um, if not, it was a pleasure having you guys all this week. I enjoy doing this every week, and I'll see you next week. So peace out, guys.